3, 2, 1.
Zyck The Freak! Thanks for tuning in, y'all.
Cool, you ready?
I'm ready.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. Actually, I'm in your quarters now.
You are. Welcome to the Freak Motel. Welcome.
Can you introduce yourself and tell us where we are?
My name is Wyatt Mazik. I go by Mazik or Zyck The Freak. And I'm a college student. I'm from Somerville, South Carolina. And right now we are in my hometown of Somerville, South Carolina, inside of my most recent investment.
Yeah.
Which I like to call the Freak Motel, but
Motel.
It's a shed that I put together with my family. Like, we built it up, and we just wanted to make a space for me to be able to play drums and do what I like to do.
Yeah.
And do what I love to do. And over the summer, I was putting out a lot of content, a lot of drum videos week after week. But a lot of people don't know that my mom wasn't home, so I was like strategically setting up my times to record videos and stuff because nobody wants to hear the drums. It's real loud in the house, so. My mom was like, look, if you're going to be here with the coronavirus going and everything, we got to figure something out. So I had some money saved up, and here it is. I'm proud of it. It's something I'm really proud of. Like, it's something I can call mine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you put out a really, really good video, and we'll link it in the show notes because it really showed like how much more this meant to you. Like, this was so much. You talked a lot more, it was about, hey, like, look at me, building my studio, but you talked about, putting money into your dreams, putting money into your passions, and that you were like, I'm not playing. Like, this is what we're doing now.
I'm doing this for real. I'm doing it for serious. And it just sometimes, I remember me and my homeboy Anthony, shouts out to my boy Ant-Man, we were sitting in here one night, just watching TV, just chilling. And he was like, yo, we sitting in the shed right now, like, and I thought, in retrospect, I'm looking back, like, I was waiting for months, because with coronavirus, for them to deliver a shed to my house, like, they had to set up an appointment for them to build it, so it took literally months. Like, I had to wait. I ordered it in August. I didn't get it till November. Yeah. So this whole time I'm talking to him, like, I can't wait till the shed get here. I can't wait. And then I put in all the work, and then I was chilling. And so for him to say that, like, we made it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we in the shed, like, looking back, I'm like, that's killing. Like, I finally did this. So that's why I was like, when I do the video, I got to kind of emphasize that. Like, this means a lot to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To kind of press on that it was real to me. It was real.
It was super cool. In the video and in a lot of your content, you have the phrase, this is not a hobby. Can you explain what that means?
When I'm saying this is not, a lot of people, especially in our generation,
yeah,
this is a microwave generation. Everybody wants everything fast. Everybody wants everything to happen so quick. And a lot of times on social media and stuff, you see the glory of what somebody's doing and you see the glamour, but you don't see behind the scenes what it took to get there. So that's what the shed was about. I'm going to show you. It's easy for me to just be like, look at my shed on Instagram, let everybody see. But I want people to see what it took. It took money. It took time. I wanted to quit so many times, like, maybe I should just buy a storage unit and keep going. But when I say this is not a hobby, I'm just trying to express the fact that I'm doing this, and I'm taking it seriously. This is what I want to do. So, you do a hobby, you pick it up. I don't really want to do this no more. You throw it away. You come back a couple months later. It's not something you really take seriously. So when I'm saying this is not a hobby, bro, like, this is not a hobby. Yeah. I'm doing this for real. This is something I want to do. So whenever you involve me in anything you want to do, or we getting involved on doing something, it needs to be top tier. It needs to be the high level, because I'm not doing this just because for fun. I'm doing it because I love to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a hobby.
Yeah, it's really cool to watch you on your whole journey, because you're still in college. You weren't building this out of the boatloads of cash you have pouring out of your pockets.
Exactly.
And so it's been really cool to see you grow. Of course, I've known you. Oh, how long have I known you now?
Even, like, I want to say 2016.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that, because when you met Andrew and
exactly,
kind of became part of the family.
Y'all, this is like my family, y'all. Like, these people, they look out for me. They support me as if they're my real family.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
you are family, 100%.
I love y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all are the real deal.
We love you, too. Get a little emotional.
And I was checking out your, I was always, I just want to say thank you, because this is like one of my biggest dreams, to be interviewed and talk.
Stop it.
No, seriously, this is what I want to do. And, like, it feels like all of my friends and everybody I know has a podcast of some sort. And I've never been on it. So whenever I hit you up and I saw you were doing it, I'm like, maybe I'll ask her if she's trying to, and when you said you wanted to come here and do it, I'm like, that's perfect, because this is, like, my new space. So thank you for, like, having me on here, because this is something I really, like, look forward to doing.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm very glad to be here. I was so excited to to be able to film, be able to record
Right.
in your space. So, a couple of days ago on your stories, you talked about how, you said you put out a lot of content over the summer, but you said you're kind of taking a break. And again, you always kind of go into these things that seem very casual, but it's always got a lesson behind it. I feel like every time you open your mouth, you're saying something really profound. So you were talking about how you're putting your head down. You're like, sometimes it's time to grow, and it's not all about like showing what you're doing. Sometimes you gotta just kind of grind. And can you talk about that a little bit?
That took a lot of maturity out of me, because I did like 2 different videos that I wanted to release. It was a hard semester. Like, this is one of the craziest semesters I ever did. And I was just like, I got the shed finally. And as soon as my work is done, I'm just going to record a bunch of stuff and put it out. And I was so excited. Like, I'm ready to get this. I'm ready to get going. And then I start doing it. And then I'm like, it's been a minute since I recorded. Or, oh, man, like, I got to reset these videos. Oh, my GoPro's not charged. My GoPro's dying. I just wasn't ready. And it started to be like something that was just kind of me jumbling together.
Yeah.
And if it's not a hobby to me, then why would I just rush and just throw it all together? And then looking at it from another perspective, I'm like, if I built this shed for me to grow and be better, then I don't need to rush. I need to give whoever wants to hear these things from me, or whoever looking for my content, it needs to be at a certain level. And I don't want to go in reverse. Why should I have a video that was better than the one I'm doing now that I posted in July of 2020? There's no point in I'm going in reverse. So yeah. I was like, maybe I need to just take some time to grow. You know what I'm saying? Not worry about posting too much content. Not worry about showing off too much and showing the shed. Just like utilize the shed for what it's supposed to be. Set my drums up. Work hard every single day. And then when I have more time to breathe later on, I can start to, okay, this is a cool idea. Let me put this out instead of rushing. Because I posted a little snippet of what I was doing. And it was pretty good. But I was watching it and I'm like, that's not all set. That's not it. That's not the, you know what I'm saying? That's not all set. That's not the one I want to post. And it's pieces of it that I like, but it's other parts in it too. I'm like, I just can't see myself releasing that. So somebody was asking me, yo, what happened to the video you're supposed to release? And so I decided, I didn't know if more people were wondering that. So I went on to just let them know, I'm going to just wait. And I think that's critical in everything you do. Sometimes you get really excited and want to do something, but it's a mature decision to stop and look and say, it's not the time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Maybe I should wait. Maybe I'm not ready. So that's why I was posting that. But that's the message I was trying to get across to people.
No, it really spoke to me at the time, because I do this thing when something's really, like if I'm working on something that's really important to me, I go dead silent. And I know why, because I've talked about it actually a lot with like mentors and everything of why I do this. So like the podcast. Mm-hmm. When it was, Kristen, my producer, was pretty much the only one who really knew about it. And even when I started working on it, if there's something that I really, 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 it's very important to me, I won't even tell Joseph, my boyfriend, for those watching, and it really frustrates him. He's like, you've been working on this for how many weeks and you didn't tell me anything. Right. But if it's something that I'm really dedicated to, I'm like, I don't want other people's voices in this. Like, mm-hmm. I need this to be mine for however long, it takes me to feel secure in what I'm doing and for it to feel best to me.
To you, yep.
I need to be quiet, which has, it's bitten me in the butt lately. I'm launching something this month that we're recording, and it's now turning into, it's not ready. And sometimes you gotta jump, but like in the beginning of business, in the beginning of working on the podcast, in the beginning of any of the projects that I've done, I've held it from my family, I've held it from my boyfriend. I will keep it quiet and really put my head down.
Right.
But I think there's a lot of pressure to not do that. I think that some people measure how they're doing based on how many people are seeing it. Mm-hmm. And if you're doing that, you're gonna get shot down every time.
Yeah, and that's smart that you do that, because I think I was talking on my story one time before, something similar to that. Everybody don't need to know the moves you're making.
Yeah.
Everybody don't need to know what you got going on. Put it out and then dare somebody to say something negative about it. Dare somebody to find a flaw. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if they do, good, because now you can look back and say, oh, I do need to work on this stuff. But as far as letting everybody know what you're doing, people can put negative energy on it, talk bad about it. I think that's great. But like I said, these are mature choices. Like, it's hard to do these things. Like, I want to tell them what I'm working on.
I know, yeah.
But let me just wait. Get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, it shows a lot of maturity in you, because that's important to do. Everybody don't need to know what you got going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And in this day and age, everybody, wants to, their first move, they think the first move of starting a business, I think this first move of starting a hobby, the first move of anything is posting it.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, it's not official till I say something on Instagram. So like they'll go, hey guys, I'm starting this thing, or hey guys, I've opened my Etsy shop, or hey guys, I don't, whatever it may be, and they're like, oh yeah, now it's good. But what they do is they really kind of screw themselves because then they don't follow through and they feel like they've let a bunch of people down because you open your mouth too soon.
Nah, you look a certain kind of way too. Like,
now you look a certain kind of way.
Have you noticed that I've been saying on my social media, 2021 motto, do more, speak less.
Yeah.
That's what I'm about right now.
I like that.
And I'm working on something right now this month. It's not really content. It's not for anybody. It's for me.
Yeah.
I could easily be telling everybody about it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it now for myself. Because also when you start posting out there, then you kind of lose sight of why you're doing it. It's like, am I doing this to look cool on Instagram?
100%.
Or am I doing this for me? So I'm doing something right now as we speak. Every single day I'm getting up and doing this certain thing and trying to reach a certain point. And I'm not telling anybody about it. Now when I'm done, I'm gonna feel good. Like, I did this. Look at me. I did this. But it's important to do more and speak less. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's do more in the now. Let's get it done now. Everybody at the beginning of the year, it's my year. This is the year for me. 2020 is gonna be my year. 2021 is the year. You don't have to say that. You can say that to yourself. Repeat that to yourself. This is my year. They don't even know what's about to happen. Do they even know what's about to happen to them? You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of attitude I like to have towards these things. Like, so I'm just saying, do more, speak less. And I think that ties in with what you were saying. We just got to do more, speak less. Everybody don't need to know.
Yeah. Have you always been this like motivated and always spoken like this? Like when you were a kid? It
used to get me in trouble a lot. My teachers used to tell me, you have an impulsive reaction. If I felt something, if I wanted to say something, even if it wasn't, if it was inappropriate, I would just say it. I would have an opinion on everything.
Yeah.
What do you think about? Oh, I think, and I'm learning how to channel that, and I learned how to channel that a lot once I start moving up in life. But the motivation and stuff, every time I started something, I'm a real competitive spirit, and when I'm getting into something, I want to get into it, and I want to be one of the best at it. That's why I try to put myself in areas where people are at high levels, because I want to be able to compete with those people. And not like, I'm coming for your head, I'm going to chop your head off, I'm going to take your position. No, but like, man, you really are inspiring me to push myself, so I want to be on that level, so here I come, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's been a part of me for as long as I can remember, just being that way. So I just been, when I feel something, it's bad sometimes.
I remember when you were in high school, because that's when I first met you.
Yeah.
We would hear, oh, why I got in trouble again.
Yeah, I would just be getting into all kind of stuff.
You got in a lot of trouble.
And if you look back and read my referrals, half the stuff is not even that bad. It's not even that bad. Yeah. Like one time, it was some shootings going on in America, and I was out the window yelling at the students walking by, like, the police will kill you. Like it was an issue going on in our country, but it wasn't an appropriate time to be yelling that. But still, like, I would get in trouble for things like that. I was just
you're very vocal.
Exactly. So that was getting me in trouble sometimes, but it helped me out in a lot of situations too, to be able to stand up and say things for other people other people not really fit to say, or they don't feel like, and I feel like I can be there to say that. But I'm learning how to, every day more and more, I learn how to control it and get better at it, keeping myself out of the negative side of that thing, because sometimes it can get me in some places I do not need to be.
It's been really fun to watch you grow.
Thank you so much.
As a person, it's been great. When did you start drumming?
Oh man, I started drumming when I was like, I guess I got pictures of me with my first drum set when I was like 2.
No, that's cute.
They got me a drum set. And then I got my first church gig. Like, I was playing at church. When I was 6 years old, I started playing at the church.
No way.
Yeah,
that's
it was
so
lit.
cute.
And he wasn't giving me money. Like, he would give me a Hot Wheel car or something. And I would have, he would give me, I'd be like, oh, this is cool. But I'd love to play music. That's what I was doing. So I was just playing drums. And then over time, I always knew it was going to be music. I always thought, like, I'm going to do something in music, But as I was coming up, that's what it was. And I thank my family for that. My parents have always enhanced that. Like, we wasn't the richest people coming up. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have all the money to get anything. But, I mean, I told my mom I wanted a drum set. And for my 10th birthday, they opened up the van, and it was drums in there. And I really appreciate my mom for that, because she made it happen. Drums are not cheap. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Man, so she went to the pawn shop, and it was like a little thrown together. But, my dad put some heads on it for me, and we made it happen. And I was in there practicing all the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's sparking the love. You know what I'm saying? That's helping me grab onto what I want to do and push me forward. You know what I'm saying? So it just really got me all set. Like, that was killing.
Was there a time when a switch flipped where you were like, oh, we're doing this seriously now. This is something else. This is more than 6 years old in the church.
Yeah. So I used to play football in high school. Not a lot of people know that. I used to play football in high school. And I broke my shoulder in the locker room. I was fighting, and I got into this. A dude came from like the varsity team, wanted to come and fight me. So we were going at it or whatever. He couldn't see me. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, he was a bigger dude. As we were fighting, he kind of like picked me up and went over, and I broke my shoulder.
Ow.
And I thought I was gonna be like, I was really pursuing football. Like, it's just as passionate I am about music was football. Like, I was taking it so seriously. Like, let's go, let's get it. I'm gonna be this football player. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. But it didn't work that way. And at first, I was hurt. I'm like, well, I thought it was supposed to be football. But then that's how I met your cousin. I started doing marching band.
Oh, yeah.
And I started doing music. And I'm like, I feel great when I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of got over football. I'm like, maybe it's not for me. But then, once I became like a junior and a senior and I started applying for colleges and stuff, and the reason why I was applying was music related, I'm like, this is starting to get for real.
You know what I'm saying?
And I was working at Guitar Center, and people were like, yo, you want to play a gig? And one of my man, Seitu, shout out to him. Great dude. Still good with him, still good friends with him today. He came up to me. I was like 18, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, you want to play a gig? And I'm like, a gig? What do you mean? He's like, yeah, we go out and play. And I'm like, what, it's going to pay? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, really? How much? He's like, $100. And I'm like, that's not really a lot of money, but to play drums, I'm oh, shoot, this is crazy. I'm getting $100. So that was like my first time playing out. So as all of this stuff is happening my junior and senior year, I'm starting to play places and make money doing it. I'm like, man, this is for real. Like, this is all set. I'm about to be doing this for real. I'm about to be playing drums for a living. And then my parents was like, look, let's do it. Let's go. And it just exploded from there. So thank God. Thank you, bro. I don't remember his name, whoever I fought. Thank you. Thank you for coming and fighting me over some girl that I didn't even know. Thank you very much, because I never would have been where I am today. It would be no shed if that didn't happen. So it's funny how things work. You know what I'm saying? How things change. So that was a blessing in disguise.
What happened after high school? What happened after you graduated?
Oh, I went to, see, a lot of people don't know I'm a transfer student too. I went to Western Carolina University.
I remember when you got accepted.
Yep, and I went, and it was such a hard process to get accepted. See, Berklee College of Music was not my first choice. And a lot of people think, they're like, they look at what I got. Now. Yeah, that's where I'm at now. I'm at Berklee College of Music in Boston, Massachusetts now. But I started at Western Carolina, and that was my first choice. Berklee was just a rebound. I wanted to go to Western Carolina because of marching band. So when I was in high school doing marching band, I fell in love. I'm like, this is crazy. I'm playing snare drum. I'm doing it. I want to do DCI. I want to take it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I start pursuing that. And like I was saying, I'm a competitive spirit. So I like to put myself in a place where I'm with the elite people. Western Carolina is probably one of the best college bands in the country. You know what I'm saying? One of the top college bands in the country. So I'm like, I got to go there then. If I want to be who I want to be, if I want to reach the sky, I got to go there. So I went there. But things didn't work out. Just didn't work out. I thought marching band was for me, but marching band is not for a person like me, I don't think. And I had to learn that. And it was kind of hard to swallow that pill, because I'm like, dang, this is what I want to do though. Mm-hmm. But marching band is about everybody wearing the same thing, everybody doing the same thing, everybody going in the same direction. I mean, it's just everybody's the same. And you sitting there looking at me. I had a lot of trouble with that.
I had a lot of trouble with
I want to do what Zyck wants to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes or hurt anybody, but this is what I want to do. So I'm like, and so now it's a situation where it's like we're having problems with him because, and like I said, I'm not deliberately being disrespectful, but I'm like, I don't see the problem with some of the things that are going on. So it's just, marching band is about order. Drum set in the band is like, you bring, as a drummer, I bring what I'm supposed to bring to the table, to the band, and we all gel together. You know what I'm saying? I bring the Zyck The Freak personality, the Zyck The Freak drums. All of this, I bring that to the band. So I'm still within myself. With marching band, it's like you have to stand this way, you have to put your feet this way, you have to do that. And so I was waking up every night, every morning and stuff like, should I be at Berklee? You know what I mean? Just thinking about it like, am I supposed to be here? Maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'll be practicing marimba in the practice room, and the drum set will be behind me. And I remember I'll be practicing, I'd be looking back at the drums like, I want to get on drums so bad. Like, I really want to do this. But it took a lot of time, and I had a conversation with one of the directors, like I said, personality differences with me and people in the band. And he was talking to me about an incident, something that happened between me and somebody else in the band. And he ended up saying, the percussion director ended up telling me, you think we need you here at Western Carolina in this program? This program will go on without you. And, I mean, I don't know the reason for him telling me that. I don't know if he was trying to hurt me or something, but he didn't know in my mind every night I'm contemplating leaving this place to go somewhere else. And when he said that, it's like my eyes just exploded. You know how you be swimming and you in the pool and you can't hear that good when you just water in your ear, and then all of a sudden it comes back, you're like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's exactly how it was. So he said that to me. He's like, you think this program needs you to go on? And I said, he's absolutely right. It doesn't. I don't owe anybody anything here. Why don't I go do what I want to do? It's not making me happy at this school. I need to go somewhere else. And I think people in our generation need to kind of key in on that. It's like, if what you're doing is not making you happy, regardless of what anybody else says, regardless of who you think will be let down, it's about you at the end of the day and being happy. So when he said that to me, he helped me out. He set me free. I'm like, you're absolutely right. I called my mom. I'm like, look, I don't think I'm coming back to Western next semester. She's like, I'm coming to get you. I'm like, no.
I'm coming to get you.
I'm gonna finish, but I think I'm gonna go to Berkeley. And my mom said, all right, let me know the audition process. We'll get you a flight to support. You know what I'm saying? My family's always there to support me, so I was blessed. But I was a transfer student. And the grass for me is definitely greener because I just fit in at Berkeley much more. It's people like me. It's people pushing me. In different ways, and I can just see myself growing. I can't wait till the pandemic's over for us to get back like on campus and get kind of, because I just love that environment. I'm so excited at Berkeley. It's crazy.
Do you think you went to Western because of the like version of success that other people had told you? Like you know, you're saying Western is where you need to go. It's where you need to go. It's where you need to go to be successful. It's where you need to go get pushed up. And I think, you know, that's a narrative that people can see a lot. Like, you know, in my life, I'm thinking, oh, you know, I was told if you want to be successful, you need to be in STEM. If you want to be successful, you need to make sure that you're doing something like science related. And so like that's where I went.
Right.
And in my head, I thought I was doing something wrong because I was, quote, where I was supposed to be, but it didn't feel right. I'm like, I'm doing this wrong. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm screwing this up, and it's me. When in fact, it's just that I was put on a one-lane path when life is not one lane at all.
At all, you nailed it. And I started to see that when I got to Western. Things look a certain way from the outside. I used to see where we went there every year to perform in high school, so I saw it then. They came to our high school to perform. So I'm seeing this marching band, and I'm looking at it from one perspective. But once you become, you know what I'm saying, once you're in a program or once you're doing something that you always wanted to do, now you're seeing it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. This is not what I thought it was going to be. This is cool. Nah, this is not it. So it's not, everything's not what you're seeing. You know what I'm saying? From the outside, but I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I learned a lot from Western. I met a ton of people. But once I got in it, I'm like, this is not for me. And I went to the school. Also, when I went there, I went for marching band. I want to get better at marching band. I didn't look at the aspect of what else is to be offered. It's just I want to go for marching band. So I was like, this ain't really all set. This is not, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeet. This is not this is not what I want to do. So once I got to Berkeley, I saw some of those same things. I'm looking at Berkeley from this perspective. This is not the same. This is the same. But I also had situations where I'm like, this is better than what I thought. I didn't know I was going to get involved in something like this. Now this is pushing me. Just because I'm at Berkeley, bruh, half the people at Berkeley don't even know they inspire me. I got homeboys, they post things, and I'm like I said, I'm a competitive spirit, so I'm like, okay, I gotta do something to top that. Like, I'm not trying to stand over him, but I want to be able to compete with my homeboys, and they inspire me to do everything. To even think of a shed like this, if I was at Western, I probably wouldn't have even thought of that. My mind wouldn't have been there to do something like that. So I am who I am because of the people at Berkeley that are inspiring me to do certain things. And I see my homeboy post a video, you know, my homeboy MGL or Christian or my man Manny will post a beat, and I'm like, that's so killing. Like, I wish I'd came up with something like that. You know what? Ooh, I just got an idea. Let me do this video of me drumming here, and I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? It just spills over, and I didn't have that at Western.
Yeah.
I had very inspirational people, but they weren't inspiring me in that way. They were inspiring me to get the heck out of there. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, they're right. I need to get out of here. Or some of my friends were like, look, man, Western wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. I'm out, and they left. I'm sorry, they didn't leave. Mm-hmm. But I was the one that was like, I gotta get out of here. And they were like, what are you doing waiting? Some of my friends were like, why are you here? They're like, man, you got accepted into Berkeley already? Because I auditioned for Berkeley twice. Not a lot of people know that. I auditioned for Berkeley twice. The first time, they gave me a little bit of money, you know, a little something. And then I ended up not going because I wanted to go to Western. But I auditioned the second time to try to get more money. And they gave me a better scholarship the second time I auditioned. Yeah. Then I turned the heat up and was grinding, and I got the scholarship now that requires me not to pay.
That's fantastic.
Anything I'm going. And Berkeley is not cheap. So to be in that, position to have that, and it's beautiful, man. I'm blessed to be in that situation.
I did not know that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I had got a scholarship, and that's one of the things I wanted to come here and talk about. People our age kind of are, scared to leave. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I was scared. Like, I remember looking at the plane ticket when I first moved to Boston, and it was a one-way. I remember it didn't hit me until I saw that. Like, I got off the plane in Boston, and it still didn't hit me that I was going to Berkeley on my own. You know what I'm saying? My dad was with me, but me and my dad flew up there, and I looked down at the ticket, and it said, South Carolina to Boston, one way, which means, you're not going back home. So that's when it hit me like, oh, shoot, I'm not going back. I'm not going back. Like, I'm in this. And I remember I still didn't know if I was supposed to be going to Berkeley. I didn't know if that was the right choice. I just knew that was better than where I was. I was reading Malcolm X's autobiography. I was reading the book, and I had just bought the book, and I was on like the 3rd or 4th chapter. I wasn't even that far in. And at the end of the 4th chapter, it said, Malcolm X said, I was praying on it, whether I should be at Berkeley. I was praying, just trying to ask for signs and ask God to let me know, is this the right thing for me to be doing? Yeah. And I was just waiting for that to happen. And I was reading this book, and I got to the end of the chapter. And I'm up in the air, how many of my feet, going straight. I'm going to Boston. And I'm reading the book, and at the end of the chapter, Malcolm X said, if I had not moved to Boston, I never would be the man that I'm supposed to be today. Or that I would have became, or whatever he said. Y'all get what I'm saying. And I remember reading that, and I froze, and I dropped the book like, that's all I need to know.
That's all I need to know.
And from there I went. I was in Boston, and I was doing it, and I was growing, and I was like, I just knew that was a sign. You know what I'm saying? That this is where I'm supposed to be. Because, I don't even know what made me want to buy that book. I heard it was a great book. And I bought it, but I was asking for those signs, and I continue to do that to make sure I'm going in the right direction. God, let me know if I'm getting all set. And the scholarship was another sign, because it was getting hard. My scholarship was pretty good, but it wasn't crazy enough for me to, so I had to do what I had to do with borrowing money. I'm like, am I supposed to be here still? Am I going to have to leave? A lot of successful people leave Berkeley, you know what I'm saying? And they still going to be successful, but once you get there, you be wanting to finish. You know what I'm saying? You kind of, it's kind of like something you start, you don't want to quit. It's like, I really want to get this done. But it gets kind of crazy financially. So I was like, am I supposed to be here anymore? Is this supposed to be just a phase and I move on? And then that summer I got the email. It's like, you received the Thrive Scholarship, which is for keeping your grades up and working hard or whatever. And I got that. And a lot of people, I didn't tell a lot of people about it, but I did a gig with my man Warwick McZeek. We have a very similar name. His name is Warwick McZeek.
And you're Wyatt.
I'm Wyatt Muzzik.
Oh, that's hysterical.
So he was a country artist, and he said it on stage. I was playing. He says it on stage. He's like, we got Zyck The Freak from Berklee College of Music. This man is on a full ride now. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
This man is on a full tuition scholarship. And I'm like, I didn't really tell that many. I just told my family. You know what I'm saying? And I told some of your family too, but it wasn't that loud. So I had to kind of announce it. So I told people, I'm like, look, I got this, scholarship, whatever. And some people were like, oh, you're lucky, man. But I would never call it luck. I was really taking it really seriously, like grinding. You know, I would call my dad and my mom, and before they got off the phone, they're like, dude, do what you're supposed to do, and whatever's supposed to come to you will come to you. So I used to wake up at 7 o'clock every morning, run, get on the train, go to Berkeley, practice for like 4 hours, then go, like I was, you know what I'm saying, just digging in. So I was like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm getting the grades. Why is it not working out? And then, boom, it just happened. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it just, so I would never call it luck. If anything, I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's the hard work. So that's another thing to the people in our generation. Put in the work. Don't be scared. The money will come. The money will come. If you're doing what you're supposed to do in your field, even if you're trying to be a doctor or something, do it right. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to do anybody wrong. Do what you're supposed to do, better yourself, and it'll come to you. Yeah. And I learned that, and now that's why I'm just trying to stay honed in, continue to do what I'm supposed to do, so I can make these things happen.
That's so cool.
Get where I want to be, man. You know?
Yeah. That's so awesome. I loved hearing that. You told me a couple days ago that I needed to watch Soul. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Soul, the movie, because that movie, and we're not going to spoil anything. If anybody hasn't seen it, if anything, we'll just inspire you more to go see it.
Go look at it. Yeah.
But that movie's really about living your life how you want to live it, doing what you want to do, and not wasting it. Why did you want me to watch it so bad?
I wanted you to watch it real bad so we can talk about it one. Yeah. But I know you can take something from it. But I'm gonna say that I took, and being a Berkeley student, bro. If you're trying to go to music school, or if you're trying to go anywhere that's very competitive, you need to watch that movie. Yeah. And one of the main things I got from it is enjoying the process.
Yes. Oh, let's talk about it.
Enjoy the process of growth. Like, it was a bunch of times that I would be in the practice room just trying to figure out something, trying to get it. And then I find myself, like, not even understanding how far I came. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you need to be able to see, like, man, look at where I came from. Not even where, it's good to know where you're trying to get, but just forget about that for a second and look at where you are and just be like, man. And when I get back to Boston, when I get off the plane, I'm going to just really look at the city of Boston and be like, I'm in Boston on a scholarship doing music. Not everybody can say that, especially not everybody that wants to do music. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's important that without spoiling the movie, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you watch the movie, enjoy the process. Don't get too caught up in the end-all, be-all. Don't get too caught up in the end goal.
Yeah.
And just be like, man, look at where I came from. And you'll be satisfied in just that. You know what I'm saying? It won't worry about what gig you're on. It won't worry about who you're playing with. It won't worry about how much you're getting paid. It's like, I made it to where I'm at, and I've grown a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and that's hard to do as musicians. I think as a musician in the profession, that's the hardest thing to do, is enjoy the process of your growth. Because you're looking at other people so smacking, they so killing on their instrument, you're like, why am I not there? You know what I'm saying? But if you just take the time, you'll start to see, and coronavirus is real good because
It is.
it helped me.
Well, the virus is not, but
Yeah.
the time it's given people.
Exactly.
It's definitely, you're trying to look at the positive of everything. There's been a lot of creativity that has blossomed
Spilling
out
out.
of this time.
And it's crazy, and that's no mistake.
No.
Like, that's real. That's what happens when you. And I love being in Berkeley with the homies, but when I got home, stuff like this started happening. The
Yeah.
shit we're sitting in. It's like I have time to think about things like that. I have time to look at myself, and my playing transformed a lot too. I still got a lot of work to do, but man, I posted a video on my YouTube of me, the way I sounded in 2019, as opposed to how I'm sounding now, and it's just like it's crazy. And I think coronavirus had a lot to do with that. Being home, not being in Boston, not seeing the homies all the time, just kind of being to myself and like really looking at Zyck the Freak, looking at me and being like, this is what I need to do to be here. And I have time to do that. So, and now I'm enjoying that process now. I'm really looking all set now.
That's fantastic.
It's about to be sweet. I'm trying to it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait to just see where I'm supposed to go.
So, guys, we took a little break because his granddad was cutting some wood outside. I don't know if you could hear it. And he, we took a little break. He was like, give me a second. And he's like, I'll see if I can hold it to help him. So he like runs outside and he's like, hey, like, you need me to hold it? You need help? So he just goes over and holds the saw and helps his granddad. And it was it was just very sweet. And I mean, that really speaks to the kind of guy that Wyatt is. I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. So you're saying enjoy the process, which I think is really hard because I remember, I was known as one of the most motivated people in college, like most motivated people. Funnily enough, I was motivated to the wrong goal, but I experienced what it was like to be too fixated on the end, way too fixated on the goal. And I think that's something that's really easy to fall into that people don't talk about. There's a difference between motivation and like obsession, because life's not going to go the way that you want it to go, even if you're trying to run towards one place. How do you deal with that? Like, how do you differentiate? How do you make sure that you aren't getting like kind of too into it?
What I like to do is set goals in other places. So, like I mentioned that I run a lot. I love to run. So I'll be like, you know what, this month I want to make sure I hit like at least 40 miles, at least 50 miles. To kind of keep me from just being drumming. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll say, I'm supposed to have my radio show. I'm going to start up that radio show. That'll kind of give me something else to do. You know what I'm saying? And then when I get to drumming again, I'm like, I get to drum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or I'll learn another instrument. I've been practicing keys, so I try to kind of distract myself with other goals and other things, because I'm not just drums. I love drums. It's a huge part of me, but that's not just who I am. The Zyck The Freak brand is about more than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's about, I want to be a radio personality. I want to do that stuff. I like to sing. I like to, you know what I'm saying? So I want to put it in all different directions. So I kind of try to distract myself. I wanted to do the Boston Marathon. I mean, I was at the train, but I was constantly trying to put myself in different things to try to keep me grounded in my goals for drums. Because that's the big picture. But it's okay to have other small hobbies and other things you want to do.
Yeah, you sometimes you got to pull yourself out to really appreciate what you're doing.
Exactly. Because if I don't do that, then it won't be good. I'll be like, what's his name? Joe Gardner. I'll be like Joe Gardner.
What's Joe Gardner?
That's Seoul. That was the dude.
Oh, yeah. I was like, who? Is this a friend of yours?
She said, what was Joe? Yeah. Joe Garner was the
Seoul.
dude in Soul,
Yeah.
Or Jamie Foxx. It was, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Yeah, you guys should really watch the movie. It is really, really good. It's Disney Pixar. It'll put you in your feels.
Mm-hmm,
but,
definitely. It's a lesson.
Yeah, it's a good lesson. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for coming through to the shed and checking it out. Thank you for giving me a chance to do this. This is a killing podcast.
Thank you.
This is killing. For all my people watching on YouTube, check her out. I'm going to put her Instagram and all of that stuff down so y'all can check out her content. Very motivational, very inspirational stuff, so y'all should check that out.
Thank you.
And for the people listening, we're filming this too, so I know we keep saying people watching. That's what we're saying.
Yeah,
we're filming it. I want
we're
y'all
filming
to
it
think
on
we're crazy.
YouTube, and
Exactly.
so you can watch the video and see what it looks like to be in the Freak Motel.
And here, this is it. This is the spot. All love to the Freak family.
Zyck the Freak!